Updating my Deluxe Reverb. The lightest amp I own. Getting a new firmware, trying to make it even better. I'm updating my Deluxe Reverb.
Hi there, I'm Budda and you're watching Dr. Guitar, a show for all you guitarists out there. In today's episode, I'm updating the firmware to my Deluxe Reverb Tone Master. Yes, updating a firmware in a guitar amp. I never thought I would say this. Almost around a year ago, I decided to search, I was searching for a lightweight amp that would sound really good, but that I could carry to any show without having to worry with my back or for it to be super heavy. And the Deluxe Reverb Tone Master came up and it's incredible. Super lightweight, super dynamic, really great tone, reverb and tremolo. What more can I ask? It's exactly what I wanted. Now, Fender just released a blonde version of the same amp. And the blonde version has a different speaker, like a Celestion Creamback neodymium, which makes it really light. With that new release, they also released the firmware with a special update where you take the bright cap off the vibrato channel. In every black face, the vibrato channel never sounds the same as the normal channel. And that's a shame because you can only get tremolo and reverb on the vibrato channel, but usually the normal channel sounds better to me, sounds warmer, more appealing. And that's because the normal channel doesn't have a bright cap and the bright channel or the vibrato channel has a bright cap. So it reacts differently to pedals. It's really finicky with fuzz pedals and some distortion pedals and some guitars. It makes you sound a little shrill, a little too bright, but we allow it because we love the reverb and tremolo. A usual mod people do to analog amps is take off that bright cap off the vibrato channel, and that's it. You get a normal channel with vibrato and reverb. Since the Tone Master series isn't an analog amp, I cannot take off the bright cap. But now Fender has released a firmware update where they take off the bright cap for you, digitally, of course. Another great thing they did is that they voiced the Creamback speaker, which is also a very common mod that people do to Deluxe Reverbs taking off the Jensen speaker and putting in a Celestion for more mid-range, usually a vintage 30, but a Creamback is also good. So using the Creamback neodymium, Fender has also introduced into the line-out of the amp an impulse response with a Creamback instead of the Jensen one that was with the amp. So I decided to update the firmware and let you know and figure it out also by myself if I like it more as it is or as it was. First of all, let me thank my dear patrons for supporting the show. I can't thank them enough. If you want to become a patron, it's very simple. Just follow the steps, go to the link. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You can also support the channel by contributing to the tip jar on PayPal. And if you're interested in guitar lessons with me, just send me an email or a direct message on Instagram or Facebook, and we'll deal with it from there. Also, please visit my reverb.com store, where I have some of the gear I review here in the show and that I can't afford to keep. Hope you liked the episode. Let's go. What has the Dita Looper to do with this episode? Well, the way I thought of testing it was recording 3 different loops, one with my Tele, another one with my Den Electro and Fuzz. The Tele, for the Tele lick, I used the Miesnieks from Guedes in Latvia, and I used my new signature guitar, my Futone guitar, for the clean sound. So in order to compare apples to apples, I decided to record 3 different loops and play them back on the amp with and without the update firmware. The Dita Looper Plus allows me to do that because it can store different banks. So bank number 14 was my Futone guitar. Then I changed to bank number 19 and it's my Tele, and bank 20 it's my Den Electro. So I have 3 loops here, and I recorded to the Dita Looper, then I played it back and recorded to Pro Tools. I updated the firmware and played it back again with the Dita Looper, recording it to Pro Tools. So then you're listening to the exact same performance, exact same levels, exact same amp settings, just different firmware updates. And I recorded an M160, my favorite guitar mic, in front of the cab where I usually have it, and the line out from the amp, because it's also a change they did to the update firmware. So you're listening to an impulse response with a stock speaker or with a Creamback, the new impulse response. Firmware update is not the simplest thing to do, but it's kind of easy. It's just not simple enough because the USB port on the amp is so hidden that it's really difficult to find it out. It's beneath the chassis of the amp, and it's a really small port. Under here, let me try to flip it so you can see it. Even here is difficult, so here it is. This is the USB port, and you have to press this switch here. Click it when you turn it on, and you connect it to the computer so you can start the updating mode. I just connected this part to the amp, of course, and the USB jack to the computer, and it opens up as a USB pen drive. You just drag and drop the firmware update that you can collect from Fender's site. I'll put the link in the description. You select the update that you want to download. You print it to the you paste it to the folder like a USB pen drive, and then it ejects automatically. For you to connect your amp to your computer, you need to first connect the cable. Then with the power off on the amp, you click a little button that is close to the USB port. You click it and turn on the amp and leave it at least for 3 seconds. Then you're good to go. It opens up on your Mac or PC. Just drag and drop the files and let it do its thing. It will plug out and let you know that you're done. On a Mac, it will show you a message like disk was removed in a not proper way. No worries, it's normal. Then just turn off the amp, turn it on again, and you're good to go. One of the great things this mod does is that the reverb control on the amp, I always found it too wet. So I use it on 1.5 and it's already too wet. With the new firmware, the course of the knob is way more manageable. So you can move it to 3 or 4 and you're not getting a huge amount of reverb. But the thing I really loved the most was the bright cap removed, because it makes my vibrato channel sound great, way better than it was, and I still have vibrato and reverb. Let me show you the samples and please let me know what you think. Well, that's it. What are your thoughts? Please let me know in the comments. Did you prefer the stock version, well, the old version, or the new version? I actually preferred the new version, but I would really like to know what you think. If you liked the episode, please consider subscribing and leaving the thumbs up. It's a super easy way to help the channel because it helps YouTube to suggest the video to other people. If you are interested in guitar lessons with me, just send me an email or a direct message via Instagram or Facebook and we'll deal with it from there. Also, you can become a patron and support the show even more by going to the link and following the steps, or you can contribute to the tip jar on PayPal. Super simple, super easy, and I thank you in advance. Please visit my reverb.com store where I have some of the gear I review here in the show and that I can't afford to keep. I'm starting to have way more pedals than I can keep, way more cables than I can keep. So I'm selling some. Hope you liked the episode and we'll see each other next week. Bye-bye.